Good morning, and welcome to this lecture of electronics, in which we were studying semiconductors, right? The syllabus of semester two, RTM Nagpur University, electronics, right? So we have already studied the band theory of semiconductors, conductors, and insulators, and we have differentiated semiconductors on that. So we are just revising it, and we have seen that semiconductors lie somewhere between conductors and insulators, right? So in terms of resistivity as well as in terms of conductivity. So we have done this. Then we have studied what is a semiconductor. We have also seen what is the structure of a semiconductor crystal. If we are using a silicon crystal, so it is having four electrons in its outermost shell, and then uh, it shares four electrons with its four neighboring atom, making four covalent bonds, and a crystal is formed over there. That is what we have already studied in the last classes, right? So at absolute zero temperature, there are no free electrons for conduction, and hence it behaves as an insulator. And at a room temperature, some electrons, due to thermal vibration, may gain energy and jump into conduction band, and so this silicon crystal semiconductor behaves as an conductor, right? So this much we have studied. And on that note, we are having two types of semiconductors. One is intrinsic semiconductor, and the other one is the extrinsic semiconductor. The intrinsic semiconductor are those semiconductors which are in its pure form, means no impurity is added to such type of a semiconductor, and therefore they are called as intrinsic semiconductor, right? And we are having another type of a semiconductor, that is extrinsic type of a semiconductor. Now extrinsic semiconductors are in its pure impure form. Whenever a certain amount of impurity is added to this pure intrinsic semiconductor, then it becomes extrinsic semiconductor. So extrinsic semiconductors are of two types. The first is the p-type semiconductor, and the other one is the n-type semiconductor that we have seen in the last classes. So whenever a trivalent impurity is added to a pure intrinsic semiconductor, then three electrons in their outermost shell will make three covalent bonds with the neighboring three atoms of silicon, and one space is left for an electron, or that absence of an electron is called as a hole, right? So due to that hole, due to the absence of one electron, the whole ion will have a positive charge, and inside it, it will become a bulky negative ion, right? So this negative ion are the minority charge carriers, whereas these positive holes are the majority charge carriers in p-type. Since they are needing one electron and they accept one electron, and therefore it is called as the acceptor ion. So this much was for p-type semiconductor we have studied earlier in the classes. And for n-type semiconductor, we have seen that whenever a pentavalent impurity is added to a pure intrinsic semiconductor, then the four electrons in its outermost shell will make four electrons with the neighboring four atoms of silicon, and one excess electron is left, and that particular excess of electron is responsible for the conduction, right? So, due to that excess of electron, we have a negative charge on this ion, and the inner ion has a positive charge, right? So, this positive ion, bulky ion, are the minority charge carriers, whereas these negative electrons are majority charge carriers. Since they are having excess of electrons, so they want to donate this electron, and therefore they are also called as the donor ion, right? So this was all about the n-type and p-type of a semiconductor. Now when a single silicon chip is half of the portion is doped with, say, the trivalent impurity, and the other half is doped with the pentavalent impurity, then a p-n junction diode is formed. This is what we have studied in the last class, and we have also studied the working of a p-n junction diode. Now I am trying to draw the symbol of a diode, and if you apply the supply to this, so we'll have the VI characteristics. I guess it is visible. This is anode and this is cathode, right? And this is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal. So whenever the positive terminal of a battery is connected to the anode of, say, the diode, and the negative terminal of a battery is connected to the cathode, then the diode is said to be in forward bias. Now, what happens when we connect this type of battery potentials to this diode? So, due to the positive polarity of this battery, the positive holes in the anode or P type of a semiconductor repel that, and the negative polarity of the battery is going to repel the negative electrons in the PN junction diode, due to which the depletion layer will go on decreasing, right? As we increase this supply voltage, as we increase this supply voltage, this uh, potential will go on increasing, and the depletion there will go on decreasing. After a certain voltage, that is around zero point 0.7 volts in silicon, the depletion layer will completely dissolve, and the current will start flowing through this diode, and we say that the diode is conducting, right? So the diode conducts in a forward bias condition, right? So we'll study this in a graph today, right? So we have to study that. Now, on the second part, reverse bias condition of a diode, in which we are connecting the negative terminal of a battery. I'm just replacing this with a small high and low like this. So this is the negative terminal of a battery. When a negative terminal of a battery is connected to anode or a P type, and positive terminal of that the same battery is connected to the cathode of the diode, then what happens? The same principle works. The holes are being attracted towards this negative potential, and the electrons are being attracted towards this positive potential, due to which the depletion layer will go on increasing. And due to that, no current flows through this diode. But due to the minority charge carriers, as I told you, the minority charge carriers in P type are the positive, negative bulky ions, and the majority charge carriers in N type are the positive bulky ions, right? So these, due to this bulky ions, we are having a small reverse leakage current in the range of say microvolts flows through this diode, right? In the reverse bias, reverse condition, right? That is very, very small. That is actually negligible. So we don't say recognize, or we don't consider that particular voltage because it is very small, right? So a small leakage current flows through the diode, and the diode is said to be in reverse bias, but no current flows through the diode in reverse bias condition, high current, right? So as you go on increasing this reverse voltage after a certain voltage, what happens? Remember this is what I had told you. This is called as the avalanche breakdown. So in that depletion layer, we are having some neutral particles, right? So due to the increase in the potential at a very high voltage in say simple PN junction diode, then some electrons gain the energy due to this voltage, and they collide with the other atom, and they break the other covalent bonds. So what happens? One electron will break one electron will break the covalent bond, will make two, and this two will go going on colliding to the other covalent bonds, and they will release another four, and such increase in the electrons goes on in the center of the depletion layer, right? So this humanity multiplication of electrons will go on increasing due to the increase in the potential. And at a certain moment, a huge amount of reverse current flows through the diode, and we call it as the avalanche breakdown, right? So that multiplication of electrons 1 to 2, 2 to 4, and 4 to 8 is called as the avalanche multiplication, and the breakdown due to that is called as the avalanche breakdown. Remember this. So we are having two types of breakdown, reverse breakdown. One is called as the avalanche breakdown, and the other one is called as the Zener breakdown. So I will tell you the Zener breakdown also, but this is for the simple diode, and Zener breakdown is actually for the Zener diode, right? So this is how it happens. So we are not concerned with the characteristics of say the VI characteristics of a diode. So when we plot this type of a characteristics, so we have two axes, one x-axis and the other one is the y-axis. So this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. I have told you that the physical parameter or the parameter which we are going to change are to be taken on the x-axis, right? And the parameters which are uh, which which are changed due to this changes, then that is called as that is to be taken on the y-axis. So we are taking voltage on x-axis, because that is what we are going to change. So this is plus volt, and the current we are taking on the y-axis. So this is positive and this is negative current. This is positive voltage and this is negative voltage, right? So as you increase in the forward bias, so this quadrant will have the forward bias of the diode, the characteristics of forward bias of a diode, and this will have, this quadrant, the third quadrant will have the reverse bias of a diode, right? So, so the characteristics that we are expecting on this will be somewhat like this. So as you increase the voltage from zero, the voltage goes on increasing at this point, which is called as around 0.7 volt for silicon. I guess it is visible. This is 0.7 volt. So I can write over here also. So I will write it like this: 0.7 volt. Right. So at this 0.7 volt, the current through the diode starts increasing. Right. And this particular point is called as the knee voltage. KNEE, knee voltage, right? So we are having a definitions of that. So this is in the forward bias region. So this is called as a knee voltage, right? Now, as far as the VI characteristics are concerned, so we have to write the whole thing on that. So VI characteristics are the voltage and current characteristics of a PN junction diode, right? So the VI characteristics of a PN junction diode is the graph, is the uh, is the relation between the voltage and current of the diode. So voltage across the diode and the current flowing through that diode, that is the relation between that. And that is shown in such type of a graph where we take voltage on x-axis and the current on y-axis, corresponding current on the y-axis, right? So this was for the forward bias characteristic. And for the reverse bias characteristics, as I told you, in the reverse condition, some leakage current. So this is that small leakage current flowing through that. I guess it is not uh, say it is not visible. So I have drawn this line a certain uh, at a certain zero level, so that it will show you the current, right? So now you are able to view this. So this is that small leakage current which is supposed to flow in the reverse bias condition, right? So the current starts flowing through this, and after a certain voltage, which we call it as a very high voltage, the breakdown occurs and maximum current starts flowing through this diode, and this voltage is called as the breakdown voltage, or say the avalanche breakdown voltage, right? So this is called as the breakdown voltage, VBR. So I'm writing here V suffix BR. So VBR, breakdown voltage, or we call it as avalanche, AVALANCHE, avalanche breakdown, right? So avalanche breakdown, VBR, is over here. Now, if you see the forward characteristics, we have to write 2 or 3 points on this VI characteristics. So how you are going to write on this? So what is that? That is the uh, forward bias characteristics of a diode. So a typical forward bias characteristics are shown in this figure, in this quadrant. So this is supposed to be the first point. First point you can write like this. So I will say, just dictate. Uh, the forward characteristic is not a straight line. It is not a straight line, but it is a non-linear graph, right? So it is not a straight line, and therefore the ratio V by I is not constant. So we are not having a straight line over here, right? So it is not V by I, and the ratio is V by I is not constant in this forward bias. Now, second point, we can say that for small values of forward voltage less than internal potential barrier, there is no current flowing through this. So, for small voltage, that is from 0 to 0.7 volts, there is no current flowing through the diode, right? But as soon as it reaches, this is the second point that you can write on that. So, zero point 0.7 uh, volt. So as soon as it reaches from 0 to zero point 0.7 volts, now the voltage, now the current starts flowing through the diode. keeping the voltage as constant. And if you go on increasing the voltage, the current will start increasing rapidly, and it will the voltage will remain constant at say around zero point 0.7 or zero point 0.8 volts, right? So this is the forward bias characteristics, and these 3 points you are expected to write on this forward. So the first point is the the forward bias characteristics of diode are taken by is the relation between voltage and current, right? The forward bias characteristics are not linear. That is, V by I is not constant. It is changing, right? So it is not linear graph. Second point, from this to this, from 0 to internal potential barrier, that is around 0.7 volts, there is no current flowing through the diode, right? As soon as it reaches, this is the third point, as soon as it reaches to zero point 0.7 volts, then the current will start increasing, and the diode is said to be in the conduction mode, right? So the diode conducts in this region. The conduct means the current starts flowing through the diode. So the current starts flowing through the diode in this point, right? Now coming towards the reverse bias characteristics of a diode. So reverse bias characteristics of a diode, uh, yeah, in the reverse bias condition, I have told you that as soon as we connect this to a reverse bias, the small leakage current flows through the diode due to minority charge carriers. So that is being shown in this small region. So this is a small leakage current that is flown, right? So, and in the other part, uh, in the other part, what happens? Uh, when okay, uh, let it be. And the second point, uh, yeah, this was the first point. A small leakage current flows through the diode. The second point is, as soon as it reaches the highest value, as soon as it reaches the value more than the breakdown voltage, right? So as soon as it, am I audible? Sorry, my mic was gone out. Just let me know. Keep me updated. Okay. So as soon as it goes to the breakdown voltage, right? The avalanche breakdown appears, and a huge amount of reverse current flows through the diode. Now, if you are able to see over here, this is not steep. This is a simple exponential, right? It is changing. So it is shown over there that it is not steep, right? But it is changing. So remember this type of a behavior. So it is like this, right? It is curved and it is increasing. So as it is being the multiplication is being in process, so it is very lenient, right? So here we can write that as soon as it reaches that breakdown voltage, maximum reverse current flows through the diode, and the diode is said to be in the reverse breakdown region. Okay, so this is the VI characteristics of the PN junction diode. This is the VI characteristics of PN junction diode. This is the forward bias characteristics, and this is the reverse bias condition. There are some definitions which are related to this graph. So one is the knee voltage, as I told you, knee voltage is that voltage because we have to define the voltage, right? So the knee voltage is a voltage at which the diode starts conducting and the maximum current starts flowing through the diode. This is the forward bias voltage. Huh? So ऐसा इसको लिखते वक्त you will write like this. All the points clubbed together. The knee voltage is a forward bias voltage at which the current through the diode starts flowing through that. Right? The current through the diode flows. That is called as the knee voltage. What is the breakdown voltage? It is the reverse voltage at which the breakdown occurs and the maximum reverse current starts flowing through the diode. That is called as the reverse breakdown of the voltage. Right. So I guess you have understood the VI characteristics. There are some more definitions. I expect that will require 10 minutes time. Yeah. So the third definition is maximum forward current. Now the third definition, second two definitions was the knee voltage and the breakdown voltage. As I was expecting. Yes. Yeah. So the first is the knee voltage. The second one is the breakdown voltage. The third definition associated with this, the third definition is the maximum, I guess it is visible. This is maximum forward current. So what would be the definition of maximum forward current? Maximum forward current. The maximum current this diode can bear without destroying or without damaging this. So इसमें से फॉरवर्ड करंट भी कितना जाएगा, राइट? कुछ एक लिमिट है, वो पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट उसको बोलते हैं हम लोग फॉरवर्ड, मैक्सिमम फॉरवर्ड करंट. इसका डेफिनेशन में लिखते हैं हम लोग द हाईएस्ट इंस्टैंटेनियस forward current that a PN junction can conduct without damage to this junction, without damaging the junction to the diode is called as the maximum forward current. यानी वो करंट फॉरवर्ड बायस में जो इस डायोड को ब्रेक किए बगैर उसमें से जा सकता है, उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं मैक्सिमम फॉरवर्ड करंट, राइट? So that was the another definition. Then we are having, I have told you, the second is the peak inverse voltage. PEAK, peak inverse voltage. Yeah, definitely I'm going to upload this all to you. So peak inverse voltage, that is the maximum reverse voltage at which the breakdown occurs and without the damage of the junction, right? So without the damage of this junction at this current, peak inverse voltage, at this voltage, the breakdown occurs and without damaging the PN junction diode, right? So that is called as the peak inverse voltage. I guess you are understood. Yeah, this was the four definitions. One is the knee voltage. The other one is the breakdown voltage. The second one was the third one was the maximum forward current. Fourth one was the peak inverse voltage. And fifth one is the maximum power rating. Maximum power rating. Now, what is power? Just remember this. I am telling you one time. Power. Maximum power rating of a diode. Now, what do you understand by this power? P-O-W-E-R, right? Remember this word, power. Power is the product of voltage and current. P-O-W-E-R. Power is the product of voltage and current, right? So what would be the maximum power rating, right? So it is the maximum voltage that is applied, that could be applied to a diode, and the maximum current, the product of maximum voltage applied across this diode to the maximum current flowing through the diode without damaging the diode, right? So that is called as the maximum power rating. Okay, so these are some of the definitions which are essential. Then we are having static resistance, dynamic resistance. Static resistance are the ratio between the steady state current and the steady state voltage. So it is the ratio between the steady state voltage to the, okay, sorry. So it is that steady, it is the ratio of steady voltage across the diode to the steady current, right? Okay. So thank you very much for joining. I guess it's over now. Just hold for a second. Thank you, Manish, for this. Okay, I guess you have understood the VI characteristics of a PN junction diode in forward bias and reverse bias. Thank you very much for joining. Please do go to my YouTube channel, watch the videos. I'll be uploading some more videos on this. Thank you very much. See you soon in the next class. Bye. Take care. Have a nice day. Good day.